Hi everyone, Christopher here. Here's an update of the garden. Some new changes. Should be a good new year. Should be good. Alright guys, here's the tomatoes. We do got some tomato set fruit. But quite tall they are. So these are the yellow spine variety. Picked up about 14 of them. I did lose a couple for about $8. They're on 70% off. This one just grew from seed that I found, so that's there. But try to stand back here. I guess that's how. Sun's going down, fireworks gonna be going off, so yeah. We got them staked up with some. So I didn't hit the sledgehammer with these ones, which I should have. The other ones I did, the grapevine ones. Look at the dogs coming in here. It's telling me to get out. So those are the tomatoes. I'm using zip ties as my twist ties. It seems to work a lot better, but should be. Alright, here's the other side. So I did extend the garden, which we'll get to there. So I chopped these bamboo stakes in half, which I shouldn't have, but I'll have to chop more to make the height of these guys. There's indeterminate and determinate tomatoes. These are the ones that will grow and grow and grow, I'm guessing. But oh yeah. So on this stem over here, on this beefsteak, it looks like it did break, but it's still connected. I'm just going to leave it and see what it does. If not, I'll just prune it off. But got some basil down there that I grew from cuttings, African. Another one over here. There's a banana pepper there, plant. And yep. Alright. So check this out. This is called top and, wait a minute guys. Alright guys, I remember now. Top and drop. So I did harvest all the lemongrass and trimmed them back, way back. But I put so I found out that the lawnmower does a good job of ripping up the lemongrass. But so I put it around a lot of the plants, which you see over here too. I'm going to go to the dump one of these days and get a whole truckload or trailer full of mulch. And we're just going to fill up everything. So this is what the lawnmower made up. Real nice. Yeah, real nice. But so lemongrass, this is all new growth from the stalks. I did harvest some stalks, the tops of them. But I went in there and I pulled out all the dead. So these are about a year and a half, going on 2 years almost. But I pulled out all the dead from the lemongrass stalks. So those two. Those are the first ones I planted. Got some peppermint down there. Some peppermint. Daldea. I'm not sure how they're pronounced. They have more peppers at the place Ace Wholesaler, but I'll have to find the name. But that's what they look like when they're red hot. Another basil, just repel any bugs or anything. Chocolate mint. So I can walk now, guys. Another lemongrass. Pineapple sage going as flowers, which is okay about this time of year. Peppermint. Spearmint. The left of the what's it called? So this pineapple sage was massive. I mean, it was almost tall as me. So I cut it back. It's starting to come back in some spots. I should have did it a long time ago. So some chocolate mint that's running. Repel bugs, I guess. But shouldn't be in there. There's a couple mints that are running loose. So these African basils were massive. Probably, I mean, they were massive. A couple didn't make it because I cut them back from the root or the stem. The brown's woody stem. They don't like that. But these ones came back just fine. Some spearmint. This one I transplanted. It was in a small pot forever, so it will grow massive now. Some chocolate mint. Stems are edible. Some spearmint. A habanero that looks like it's going to go into produce mode. It's got blooms and fruit all over it. A little spearmint or peppermint down there. I think that's a pepper of some kind. So the honeybees and bumblebees all around here all day, you know. Some basil. Alright, so this was the other tomatoes I got. I'm trying to block the sun. So I do have the stakes up tall. They will grow that tall, I'm guessing. Dogs are playing. So this is grapevine tomato brand or species. So it's quite big. I did pick up some chives. They're over there with the other tomatoes. They're just kind of something I picked out. Oh, they're romping, guys. Hey, guys, simmer down. So one, it looks like it has disease. Now Pumpkin's doing laps. See if we can see him. Yeah. As long as they don't come in the garden, they're fine. Burn a little steam off before fireworks. Pumpkin don't like fireworks. So these were basically how tall the bamboo over there with the other ones, but I chopped them in half or so. But so there's clay at the bottom, so I put these in, the big ones, and I put the little ones in and sledgehammered them in with a hand sledgehammer, and then I zip tied those two together, and they're very sturdy. They should be good all season. Now over a while these bamboo will be brittle, but for now they'll work for a year or so. There's fruit all on here, flowers everywhere. I'm self-pollinating both of them with an electric toothbrush, so that's working good. Some chives at the bottom. This one looks a little diseased, but it seems to be doing better. We've had rain for about a week now. Here are my cancer-fighting mustard greens. So there's a lot of mustards. I didn't count how many I had when I bought them. I just bought a ton. Some lemongrass that I cut all the way back. Pineapple sage that grew from just putting it in the ground, and it grew like that. But if you catch it sooner before it rots. Some peppermint and, spearmint and chocolate mint. So what we have here is rosemary. I put too much soil around the rosemary plants, and I think they got a disease. But there's one over there that are healthy and producing. But next, I'll probably rake all that soil away and then put some mulch around it. Some beautiful peppermint. So some weeds a little bit, but there's chocolate mint. Spearmint, lemon balm, and basil right there. So the hummingbirds love this flowering plant. When they fly by, you can hear their wings. That's how strong they are. Their wingspan, or whatever. Not their wingspan. More mustards down there. I'm just walking, guys. So there's a mustard down there. It's getting shaded. Basil that I cut back. Another mustard. Sweet mint or lemon mint. One or the other. A perennial wildflower. That is a perennial wildflower. Here's my chocolate mint. Not chocolate mint, guys. Tabasco peppers plant. So this is the biggest. It's got a couple stems at the bottom that produce all this. They're very lush. This is where majority of my mustard are. Purple giant, Japanese if you call it. Japanese or purple giant. When they grow, the stem will get about 4 feet tall, and the leaves will get about 18 inches. Some more basil. So at the colder weather, the collard greens are really thriving. They're a cold plant. They don't like the summer. So chocolate mint and peppermint. This basil must have leaned over and rooted inside of this pot here of mint. Got another lemongrass. So all the ones that I planted from the... Yeah, he's coming in. Hey, why don't you get out of there, wise guy? If he behaves himself. Lucas, out! Luke, out! So I have all the gates open of the garden. Pineapple sage, all the ones I transplanted, they made it except one. So they just produce some flowers. Hummingbirds like those, but they must... So here's the rosemary. This is the healthy one. I didn't put soil around it. I just planted it. When I did, not just recently. It's been there for a while. Some more basil. Here's the other side of the Tabasco peppers. Probably got over 1,000 peppers this season. Here's the other Tabasco. There's 3 plants. Multiple stems on some. But still producing fruit. I need to go in there and harvest some of the red, maybe. There's a pineapple sage. Good for making tea. There's the other side of the basil. A little bell pepper. Yeah. And so here's a trio. jalapeno, bell pepper, and then more jalapeno. So let's go over here, Chris. So I did some pruning in the past couple months or so to the eggplant. So I do have fruit on it. There's a bunch of fruit. Probably, I didn't count, but I should have. But there's a bunch of fruit, nothing staked except this one and that one. But I have been self-pollinating with electric toothbrush. I just did a little bit ago to get more fruit. But there's tons of fruit on it. I did a chop and drop of the lemongrass all around the plants, which you see down there. But like I said, I'll be getting a lot of mulch and putting it around everywhere. Then another thing what I bought with the chives was eggplant. There's a thin... we'll look at the fruit. Why not? Sorry, Chocolate Mint. Alright, where are you, buddy? He's over here. So these are the thin variety. Or thin and long. I haven't tried those. But I did remove them when I first planted it because I didn't want that. Precious is allowed in here. The cat. But Lucas isn't. So, a lot of the collars perish with the Heloquin bugs and stuff from the root here. And these ones are thriving. You can see how the leaves are kind of curled. That means they're happy. We've been getting rain for last week. So, I watered today just because I wanted to. But another lemongrass. Bunch of stalks. Like the curl. See the curl, guys? That means they're happy. They like humidity. And another Tabasco pepper plant. So the red ones are the hottest and the yellow ones aren't. What's that dog doing? So this stevia plant was massive. I cut it back in the season. And now it's starting to come back. It was bolting, which is normal for the time of year it did. But that's sugar. 20 times sweeter than regular sugar. Got some jalapenos with some jalapeno peppers. Annual or perennial wildflower. This collard and that collard is going to have to be pulled. But that one seems like it's doing alright. So we got some lemon balm. Very fragrant to it. It's a mint family. And then some more lemongrass that I cut back. I cut all of them back. The three, one over there, these two, I didn't harvest. I just chopped and dropped. But I got more than full of a trash can of this stuff that I used. What was that? A cat? And the bird feeder. Sorry, guys. I'm drifting. Alright. We'll get to the new adjustment. Alright, so this is, I'm guessing, lime basil. It may not smell fragrant, but if you dry it out, it really smells really good for cooking and stuff. So in the season, I cut back all the basil because I didn't know how it would do in the cold wheat. East coast of Florida, not that bad. I think zone, not sure. The honeybees, they love these mostly. The pumpkin. So those are cherry tomatoes. They have a little bit of fruit. More basil, chocolate mint. This is the only biannual kale that survive Heloquin bugs. So it's a rosemary, some mint, sage tree up here. It was here before the garden. Chopped and dropped. Some lemongrass. Got a cinnamon basil that just came up on its own. Got some dwarf blueberry bushes. So the last thing I cut in here was that African basil. I put it in the windowsill. Half has got roots, and I cut some more. And then the other side doesn't have roots. But that'll be transplanted very soon into the ground. So chocolate mint, a lot of mints around here. All these mints, some were purchased, but most of them were just from the ground, put in the pots. This one and that one, African basil, was the only two I bought, and all you see in the garden, that's all it came from. Looks like a cinnamon basil that survived. This is a perennial wildflower. I cut it back before the wildflowers came. but it did grow back since. That was a chop and drop. Well, I didn't drop it. I put it in the compost. Then, if you know what this flower is, I'm not sure right now. But very pretty. This is just the border. This was here before the garden. When the rain comes down, it flows this way, all the way down to the end of the fence line. Alright guys, this is the new adjustment. So I want to plant fruit trees here. And then herbs maybe. So fruit trees and herbs. The herbs will be coinciding to keep pests and stuff, disease and stuff. But so what I did first, before I moved this fence, is I dug out all the weeds and grass. Wasn't that much. And then I dug a trench all the way down, and then I filled it with a full trash can of organic rotting compost, so it wasn't broken down. And then I filled it, and then the next day I put more broken down compost all the way down, which will walk. And then I put from the kumquat tree, I cut it because I don't want the fungus gnats and I want it to grow more. And I took all those leaves from the top and I put in the mower and I laid that down to give it more organic. So yeah, so I laid cardboard down. So the plan is to lay mulch. I put some weights on it just to keep it down. It helps, I guess. Big adjustment. There's lilac tree, kind of in my way here. Goes all the way down. So long before, so when the moles were here, the water comes down and it goes through tunnels, it says, or I say. But yeah, that's the garden, guys. I think we covered most of it. Now let's take a look at the pots outside of the garden. Alright, so this is where it was. On the other side of the cardboard, that's where the fence was. This is a big upgrade for the fruit trees or so. I think I'm going to purchase, they sell like papaya and stuff for $8. There's a lot of fruit trees at the Ace Hardware. They're all individual owned, so yep. Chocolate mint, peppermint, spearmint, chocolate mint, a little bit of sage that survived the heat. Transplanted all those mints from the last couple videos into here, but they will grow eventually. I picked up these big pots here, not pots, but plastic bins. They are for growing. They're only $7.99 or so. I put some garden soil from the store. Those are the, what are they called, Chris? Alright, so these are the mulberry, red mulberry. So they have grown since I put it in there, so that's good. So these buckets out here aren't really organized. They were just to get out of the way. So there will be grass pulled up all under here. So when I did remove the buckets that were located over there were worms and insects and stuff. So what they're going to do is eat all that organic stuff I put down. Composters are empty. Tom's going to fix the fence, pull it back because it's rotted. And Precious is hunting. So those are bushy oregano. And stems are edible, I guess. I tried it and they didn't seem too bad. And then there's spice oregano. Some mint. Keep away bugs from the border. I do hang up a mesh bag there and a mesh bag there of garlic sometimes to keep bugs or raccoons and possums, but only had one possum in here one time. It was a baby and I don't think it knew where it was going. It didn't touch anything. Spice oregano, it's exciting. So biannual means 2 years. So parsley, it's really grown. I almost damaged it a little bit from the fence because I had to lift the fence up over that. And I had to lift the fence up over the lilac tree. It was a challenge, but I got it done. So this is lemon parsley and oregano, some mint, some orange trees that are Tom's, some sage and thyme. Yeah, thyme and oregano. Alright guys, I'm going to take some long shot. Alright guys, here's the long shot. Garden's about 1.5 years old. this coming spring, we're in winter. Today is New Year's Eve. And then springtime will be 2 years. So these grapevine cherry tomatoes are disease resistant. Just a thought. The sun is going down. So you can see all the lemongrass that I put down. Quite a bit I had. A little glare with the light of the sun. It's nice to see the sun today. It's been a little cloudy for last week. So the eggplant has been in here since the beginning of the garden. And I did prune lots of stems away, trying to make the 3 trio of the stems. But it seems to work out good. A lot more fruit production. It is a fruit, I guess, they say. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Garden update's all done. Hope you like, comment, subscribe if you're on Facebook or YouTube. And Happy New Year. And hope you had a happy, healthy Christmas. Alright, guys. Till next time. Peace.